So this right here happened at TYT.
Question. Jake and Anna, please tell us who the left is that you keep referring to and never defining. I'd really like to know as a self-ascribed leftist. No problem, because that we do that sometimes on the show. You don't know what we're referring to. Do we mean the whole left wing? Absolutely not. Okay, the majority of the left wing is perfectly reasonable on this.
Are they?
Now, before we get started, you guys obviously caught that. I want to go ahead and say this before we really dive into this. This will be like the first of like 3 videos that I'm going to be doing. Not so much on this topic here, but this network, because recently Anna's been cooking, and just go ahead and think about it as somewhat of an arc. So what exactly are we discussing here in this video here? Well, we're back to talking about the Venezuelan migrants, because the denial of what's going on in Aurora, Colorado, and you're about to see what's happening in Chicago here real soon, is astounding. But of course, at the same time, though, it is in fact an election year, and we all know that our left-wing friends over at TYT are going to do everything they can to cover for the left. Or did they in this case? Now, guys, like I said, it's a bit of an arc, okay? Anna also had a bit that I'm going to be linking some reactions to in the description box with she criticized MSNBC. And of course, that's going to take 2 videos, because there's actually a lot more to that actual segment than what was initially spoken about, with all the reactionary channels out there, people responding and looking at what's going on and saying, yeah, she's calling out MSNBC. However, she does show some ignorance in those clips, but we'll talk about that more in tomorrow's videos. But still, I got to give the woman credit for calling out the bad. But still, at the same time, though, how in the world did we get to the state where Anna just decided to start cooking and start cooking some actual good takes? Well, it starts with this video here. It starts with this particular take, which of course was TYT discussing the Venezuelan migrant situation. And of course, Jink, of all people, decided to put out some tweets about this, which I kind of find hilarious given his past statements on migrants, given his past statements on police officers, which of course will come up in this video too, so make sure you guys stick around. So what ultimately led to Anna Kasparian saying, do they? Well, like I said before, it's what's going on in Aurora, Colorado. With that right there being said, let's go ahead and dive in.
You're watching footage from last August featuring members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua breaking into an apartment unit in Aurora, Colorado. Now, a shooting later broke out in the building's parking lot. And there's also some video footage that shows armed men confronting a driver in the parking lot of the apartment complex. Let's put that up. So if you look closely at the kind of upper right-hand side, you see a car parked and you see individuals approaching that vehicle armed with guns. Luckily, in this case, the footage doesn't show anyone getting hurt or getting shot. But apparently this particular apartment complex, according to some of the residents and former residents, has been riddled with all sorts of gang violence over the last year.
Now, before I respond to some of that, make sure you guys please click on your notifications so that way you guys notify when videos come out. Also, something else too, make sure you guys go ahead and hit the like button for the algorithm, so that way YouTube will actually let the video travel through the algorithm and more people will get exposed to this content. And of course, if you guys are new here, please subscribe. Please, I hope you guys do so that way we can make this channel bigger. So what's going on? Well, in city of Aurora, Colorado, Denver to be exact. Well, Aurora is a suburb of Denver. My bad, apologize. They got this issue with migrant gangs. And of course, the migrant gangs they got a hold of are Tren de Aragua. This is a group out of Venezuela. And of course, these people bring weapons, and these people are trained, and these people have overtaken a couple of apartment complexes that the city actually condemned. And of course, they've also gotten themselves into the actual other apartment complexes that are not condemned. And of course, there's extortion. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on there. I mean, I've been talking about this for the past week and a half. Don't worry, the videos will be linked in the description box. And of course, the city of Aurora, the police chief and the mayor both are kind of denying what's going on. This right here, of course, was after they said some crazy stuff was in fact going on, which we will get to here in a second, because the mayor of Aurora, Colorado, went on Fox News, told everybody this was a problem, and then turned right back around and told the local news it was not a problem. Meanwhile, the governor of Colorado, Jared Police, is saying it's not a problem at all. I think that we're picking up on a bit of a trend here, and don't worry, this will become more and more and more apparent in the 2 follow-up videos to this one here, that, of course, the mainstream media and even the local media outlets, even the left-leaning media outlets, are, in fact, covering for this current administration that has left our border completely wide open and is allowing all kinds of people to come in. We've been covering this for the past year, year and a half. Of course, this right here is designed to create a brand new voter base, so that way the Democrats can replace another one. But that's a different topic altogether. So why is it that TYT, of all people, are calling up the liberal media for not exactly being honest about it? Well, it kind of goes into maybe it's just Anna Kasparian doing this, because the rest of TYT, for the most part, is completely oblivious, and they're more than happy to carry the left-wing line. But the situation in Aurora, Colorado could explode and could get a lot worse. And of course, I talked about in a previous video that a lot of these same migrants that are a part of gangs are now currently in Chicago. And now you've got Chicago gang members going on TikTok and talking about how it is that you better get ready for switches. Now, I did a video detailing that last week. I will link it in the description box of this video here. But still, though, at the same time, why is it that TYT, of all people, are now calling this out? Well, it's probably because they see that the left-wing brand in this country is about to get completely destroyed this election cycle. Maybe they know it's coming, and they can obviously see that people don't exactly care for leftists, because leftists, of course, as you guys know, aren't exactly people who live in reality. But let's get back to the story at hand. So the mayor of Aurora, Colorado, would, in fact, go to Fox News, and, of course, he would voice his displeasure. This, of course, was before he changed his mind and decided to say that nothing was going on. But of course, Anna actually does a very, very good job of pointing this out.
Apartment buildings. And the local government can't seem to keep its facts straight or its story straight. So look, at first, the mayor of Aurora, Colorado admitted that there actually is a problem with Venezuelan gangs. Let's watch.
These gangs apparently are attracted to where there's a concentration of Venezuelan migrants. And so they've in fact have kind of pushed out the property management through intimidation and then collected the rents. Arrests have been made, but these operations are still ongoing.
Panic mode, because they started to claim that there's no problem at all. What do you mean? This is a figment of your imagination. In fact, the governor, Jared Polis, claims that the allegations are a figment of your imagination. And Aurora's interim police chief said that the gangs had not taken over one of the complexes. Now, depending on what you're hearing different things. And whether or not this is a widespread problem in Aurora, Colorado, remains to be seen.
Before I go any further, I want to say this. In one of the videos that I posted last week about this situation, 6 migrants had been arrested in Arapahoe. Arapahoe, Colorado, Arapahoe County is the neighboring county to Denver. All right, now I want to say this. Denver is obviously the big city here. Aurora is obviously the suburban town. But the neighboring county, they actually arrested people who, by the way, 4 of them would be linked back to the gang that's in the area. That, of course, these cops are, well, not cops, but the mayor is saying that the migrants are not a problem in. Kind of picking up on a little bit of the BS here. See, the fact of the matter is that this right here is an election year, and this right here is what they do, especially the left-wing media. Conservative media does it too, but nowhere near as bad. I mean, MSNBC, and we'll be discussing this right tomorrow in both videos that I have planned, which of course I'll be working on those videos today. You guys can clearly see that MSNBC, for example, is mostly a commentary channel, almost like what CNN is, where Fox News is practically commentary and breaking news, but still at the same time, that's kind of the world that we're living in. It's a very sad thing to see. We just want the news. We just want the news to be accurate, so that way we can make an actual honest-to-God judgment, which, by the way, most local news outlets do a very good job of doing. And I think that the local news outlets in Colorado have done a very good job of covering this story. But, of course, you still have mayors like the one in Aurora who are lying about the situation. Now, there's one more thing that I want to say before I go any further, just to provide some additional context on the situation in Aurora, Colorado. The mayor of the main city, Denver, it was about 4 or 5 months ago, he was screaming and hollering. No, it was actually further back than that. It was sometime back in February. He was screaming and hollering that the federal government needed to spread these migrants out city to city. Now, granted, this issue of busing from Greg Abbott, busing these migrants to these areas, is in fact going to come back up. But I'm going to go ahead and say this. The mayors of these sanctuary cities and towns wanted these migrants. You said that you were sanctuary cities, so I think that Greg Abbott is just simply obliging you and holding you to your standards. It's really odd how it is that people talk about certain standards, why it is that for whatever reason, the left holds conservatives to these extremely ridiculous standards. It's not just the left who does it. It's really kind of moderates or people who think that they're moderates. That'll probably be another video down the road. But when you give the left what it is that they claim that they want, these people suddenly don't want it. It's because these people never really and truly wanted it to begin with. It's called virtue signaling. It's called BSing. TYT is actually very, very good at this, to the point to where it's almost like pure comedy. But let us continue.
on behalf of the lender. And they submit their report on August 9th. And they also sent it to a local CBS News affiliate. And the report was further confirmed by the Aurora Police Department, which is now denying that there's a problem of Venezuelan gang violence at this apartment complex. So first, here's what the report found. The evidence we have reviewed indicates that gang members are engaging in flagrant trespass violations, assaults and battery, human trafficking and sexual abuse of minors, unlawful firearms possession, extortion, and other criminal activities, often targeting vulnerable Venezuelan and other immigrant populations. So the person who authored the report on behalf of the law firm, T. Marcus Funk, wrote, and he is a former US attorney. So look, for the lefties who are watching this, who are concerned, oh my God, please don't report the truth because it's gonna paint migrants in a negative light. The migrants are the ones who are victimized by this. So
obviously the lenders have gotten involved. The people who actually lend money to the people who run these apartment complexes, they've gotten involved to ask the question of what the hell is going on. It's funny too, because these lenders, they typically tend to be people who, I don't know, donate money to politicians, stuff like that there. And of course, politicians are heavily reliant upon the money, which makes me think that maybe this situation here, even though it's an election year and Jared Polis has got everything he can to get Kamala Harris elected, the borders are the person who's actually supposed to be in charge of the border, the person who's been letting all these migrants in, massive security risk, by the way. Once these people get involved, you may see something change because obviously politicians are owned by special interests and, of course, also the money. I just figured I'd put that out there for further clarification, but let us continue.
Of that apartment complex, okay? Remember, this is the lender. The lender wants to know, hey, I've loaned a lot of money out. I want to know what's going on with this apartment complex. So the lender hires the Perkins Coie law firm, and they start to investigate claims of gang violence because the lender had caught word that there was an issue of gang violence at this apartment complex. The law firm said,
I don't know, Anna. It seemed to me like the last video that I did on this situation where you had migrants protesting outside these homes, and of course liberals, the left, protesting on behalf of the migrants. It seems to me like the migrants were very, very much involved in keeping their mouths closed and letting the gangs operate how they want. As I've said before, and I understand somebody's probably going to say that a one-size-fits-all solution is not going to work here, and my response to that is, are you freaking smoking crack? Send them all back. Send them all back. I don't care how intentioned they are. Send them all back. A one-size-fits-all solution would, in fact, work. That one-size-fits-all solution would be have a border wall, reinforce it, take every single one of these migrants and send them the hell back. Because it doesn't matter if they're getting caught in the crossfire or not. One way or another, they're helping the migrants out. Even if it's something like, say, extortion, for example, which they themselves may be getting extorted, still, you're giving them money. I understand the situation. Still, like I said before, you're not victimizing the migrants because the migrants are still helping them out. Like I said, send them all back. But of course, this is how lefties' minds work. We can't arrest them because it would be racist. The dude shot somebody in the face. Obviously, he needs to be arrested. He needs to be locked up. That's how these people operate. I've said before, these people would allow the anaconda in the room to kill them. They would allow the lion in the room to kill them. That's how these people are. Which, by the way, would also make you think to yourself, hey, look, maybe it's a good thing these people are removing themselves from the gene pool. I mean, what was it? The Democratic National Convention was offering abortion, by the way, something I'm very, very much against, but they were also offering vasectomies. I understand these things can get reversed, but still at the same time, though, do you guys see the logic here? They want to go through the process if they want to have kids. I mean, I'm just simply saying that this is a very, very self-defeating ideology. They'll kill each other. The problem is when they start actually doing things that could kill others, that right there is when it becomes a serious issue. Part of the reason why is they need to stay the hell away from us. But still, though, there's no victimization of migrants going on here because the migrants are actually helping. But let us continue.
The property owners could be bad guys that don't take care of the rodents and the bed bugs, etc. And a Venezuelan gang might have taken over the apartments. Those two facts are not at all logically connected. So I don't see how that disproves that there's a gang there. So there's more evidence coming that Anna's got for you guys. I was very...
In response to that law firm's report about the gang violence, basically the Aurora Police Department provided confirmation. In fact, they had their own reporting on this, and their own reporting fell in line with what this law firm was saying. So for instance, an officer reported responding to a call from a house cleaner at Whispering Pines. He said she told the police she was threatened that she needed to give up the keys to the vacant apartments at the Whispering Pine apartments so that a group of Venezuelans could move people into the Whispering Pine apartments. The officer reported, quote, suspects left, but not before warning her to comply or else they would kill her or her family. The Aurora officer wrote to fellow officers, I would highly recommend you guys take 2 to 3 friends with you when responding to any calls there.
Okay, now real quick, for the purposes of time, I chose to put Anna and Jinx together and it made it a little bit longer, but don't worry, the full bit will be in the description box for you guys to check out, just in case you guys want to double check anything I may have missed. But the thing is this right here. When you have somebody there who's actually employing near the area telling you you might want to take 2 or 3 friends there with you, what she's trying to tell you is that you need to watch your back. Now, I want to say this really quick because I did bring this up in the previous video. I noticed that it may be a little bit off topic, but I do believe it does in fact count here. And I won't, if you're from Colorado, please comment in the comment section what you guys got to say, because I don't want to mislead the public or anything like that. But to my knowledge, even though Colorado is very, very much still a liberal state as far as it's becoming like a new California, I want to say that people in Colorado are still allowed to own firearms. It's just not allowed to buy an AR-15. By the way, anytime somebody brings up AR-15, man, that's what they're doing. It's a shelf ban. I'm not in favor of that crap at all. I think that AR-15, as a matter of fact, I'm very, very much in favor of training everybody in the country with a firearm, and that way somebody can actually have one in case the country ever gets invaded. Yes, I'm that paranoid. I'm that pro 2A. But the thing is this right here. The situation that's different between Colorado and Chicago is that in Colorado, you are at least allowed to defend yourself to a certain extent. So therefore, you are at least allowed to carry a firearm with you if you are a civilian, whereas in Chicago, if you use your firearm even in self-defense, and of course they got issues going on there, you're not allowed to do so. It's part of the reason why it was that I said that Chicago gangs that were running their mouth about the situation with Venezuelan migrants coming, their confidence was misplaced, especially given the nature of their culture and everything you see as far as 2A fails in that city, especially amongst certain populations. Can't really say anything else beyond that there because YouTube will find a way to limit the ads. But still, the point is this right here. The lady is telling you, you need to take some additional friends with you because this situation right here is much, much more dangerous than you think. If you go by yourself, you may get extorted. If you carry a group with you, they may choose to leave you alone. She's basically trying to tell you that the situation is, in fact, dangerous. And, of course, it could, in fact, get hot. Of which, by the way, the mayor of the city and the police chief are now denying the existence of these migrants when it's pretty obvious these migrants or these migrant gangs are, in fact, taking over the area. And, of course, they've set up their own base of operations. Let's keep going.
Just simply noting what the facts are is, oh, it's really sad to see that you're now on the other team. No, I need everyone to understand someone. I'm not on anyone's team, okay? I want to know what the truth is. And I'm really not interested in lying to my audience in order to protect one team or the other. So let's hear from Cindy, who until very recently was living in the apartment complex, was begging the cops for help, and they were not helping her. Let's take a look at Cindy, again, former resident of the Whispering Pines apartment complex, city council member, helped her move out recently. Now she says that she's been dealing with so much violence in the building that she bought.
And Denver is a sanctuary city, meaning that they got what it is they voted for. By the way, these people who voted for this are of the left, of your sort. So basically, you're complaining about what it is that you voted for. Congratulations, you're stupid. Now, like I said, the full clip will be in the description box, which, by the way, will include the interview from Fox News of the lady Cindy, who, by the way, was the housekeeper. The truth be told is this right here. TYT saying that they want to make sure people have the facts is absolutely a load of crap. Maybe Anna Kasparian is trying to. I mean, she has been on a bit of a redemption arc. But there's also a bit coming up here where Jink Younger goes out of his way to call the cops in this situation a bunch of cowards. Well, didn't you want these people defunded a while back, Jink? We'll get to that here in a second. What I'm trying to say to you guys is that these people now suddenly trying to say that they're the orators of truth is absolutely hilarious. It's almost like what I said the other day with the Russia hoax thing. Anytime Democrats bring up Russia, I bust out laughing because for so damn long they've been weak on the topic, and if people had actually done their history, they would see that that was the case. The same thing with TYT. These people don't know how to tell the truth, which makes you wonder if there's actually an agenda going on now. You guys will see, of course, the next two videos where Anna basically shreds MSNBC. It makes you wonder what's really and truly going on here. Is it one person? Is it the network? No, it's not. It's just one person who's finally getting tired of the left's BS. But still, though, she'll remain on the left regardless. That's a different topic altogether. I've talked about this before in other videos. But still, though, the fact that TYT, of all people, is doing a better job in the of calling out what's going on rather than the governor of Colorado, who, by the way, is in charge of the safety of the people in Aurora, of the entire state, that really speaks volumes. But let us continue.
So, cops, do your goddamn jobs. Your job is to serve and to protect. We have a culture of cowardice in our police departments in this country, where they're taught, don't take a risk with your life. Your life is so much more important than the citizens. Don't take a risk, don't take a risk. Oh, they took over an apartment or an apartment building or half the apartment building, whatever it is. It's a bunch of migrants that live there. Who cares? And now leftist streamers, you're not supposed to do the same thing. So here,
leftist streamers that, quite frankly, you have buoyed up on your platform, whether it be your own nephew, Hassan Piker, whether it be Vosh, whether it be all these leftist streamers. And by the way, you yourself, which to me is absolutely hilarious because Jink is going to brag about the overall viewership at TYT. Well, unless you guys noticed at the very beginning when this clip was actually when I got hold of this clip, only about 6,000 people were watching, meaning that it was a live stream, right? Okay, well, only 6,000 people were watching. And yet, TYT's got like 6 million subscribers. It makes you think that maybe people out there just, they don't want to listen to Jink at this moment in time, and maybe you're missing some good stuff out of Anna, which makes me wonder if the left will ever be broken through to. But Jink, you are also partially responsible, largely responsible even, for a lot of these crazy takes. I remember during 2020, these people were denying even the riots that were going on in Minneapolis. I mean, you could have even used that as an opportunity to get your propaganda through, but these people were so freaking stupid, they chose to just deny it altogether. They decided to deny what the hell was going on outside their homes. Amazing. But we started this video with a certain segment of Anna Kasparian asking the question, do they? Well, let's go ahead and get to that.
Dr. Squiddy's a member on Twitch asked a good question. Jake and Anna, please tell us who the left is that you keep referring to and never defining. I'd really like to know as a self-ascribed leftist. No problem, because that we do that sometimes on the show. You don't know what we're referring to. Do we mean the whole left wing? Absolutely not. Okay, the majority of the left wing is perfectly reasonable on this.
Are they?
Jink's facial expression here says it all. It says it all. It's almost as if to say, man, she got me. But also at the exact same time, it's, damn, she's right. Damn, I'm partially responsible for a lot of the stupid disinformation or the stupid amounts of BS out here on this platform right now. Out here on this channel. Because TYT is primarily on YouTube. I just think it's absolutely hilarious to see Jink's face when she simply just says, are they? Because Anna's starting to get fed up. If you guys notice, not with the dishonesty. It could be the fact that maybe she thinks she's an honest leftist, but still at the same time, though, it's pretty obvious at this point in time that she's fed up with it. But let's let her cook to end this video.
You and I might have a disagreement here, Jink.
Yeah, we have a massive disagreement. You give those tiny little leftist streamers way too much
They're
credit.
not tiny little leftist streamers, Jink. Hassan called the city council member racist for helping this woman move out of that. But like that's not a small streamer. That's a huge streamer. That's not a small person.
Okay, I mean,
do you get what I'm saying?
I mean, what are we going to get into this now? We're going to be like Trump with crowd sizes.
No, but okay.
But our narrative. Okay, but hold on, Anna. Hold on.
Okay, but do Democrats come out and push back against that narrative, Jink? Just the mainstream Democratic Party, do they?
Nope, they absolutely 100% deny the actual reality. But let's watch this last bit and let me tell you what I think is really going on here.
Come forward and push back against that narrative because you have the Democratic governor denying all of this. So I don't know who on the left wants to do something about it.
Anna, look, you have to be specific. Okay, I'm so glad Octo Squiddy's asked that question because we have to be specific about who we're talking about. So if you're saying, oh, well, Hassan or some other leftist streamer is big, so that counts. Well, TYT Network is much, much larger. So, okay, we win, we represent the left. So we can play this game all day long, all day long. Come at me, 400 million views per month. So we definitely represent the left more than any streamer, no matter how popular they are, pretending to speak for the left, never showing any polling, never showing any facts, never showing anything about how they represent left-wing voters.